Brittany from Brittany Loves Reading, and today I'm coming to you with my summer TBR. Last season, in spring, I went looking at my shelves and picked out 5 books that kind of gave me spring vibes and did a spring TBR. Now, did I read all of those books? No, I didn't get to all of them, but I did get to like half, which is still better than if I hadn't made the TBR at all. I doubt I would have read any of those books, so it was nice to get some of them into my rotation, off my shelves, in front of my face, so that I was remembering that I did want to read these books. Sometimes I feel like things get put on my shelves and I forget that I own them. I hope that's relatable. That's a mood, isn't it? But anyway, I've decided to do it again for summer because it is now officially summer, and I have 5 books that I'd really like to get to this summer because they give me summer vibes, either due to the setting or even just the cover, various reasons. So let's dive in. The first book going on my summer TBR is Distant Shores by Kristen Hanna. Now, I will say I absolutely love Kristen Hanna's historical fiction. The contemporary fiction has not always been my favorite, but I do own this one and do want to give it a try because, like I said, I do typically like this author's historical fiction, and some of the contemporary fiction may be a win for me as well. This cover is definitely giving me all the summer vibes with the beach and the ocean. It's perfect for summer. This follows Elizabeth and Jackson. Elizabeth and Jackson got married very young, raised 2 daughters. Now their daughters have left home and they are starting to be empty nesters, and kind of that's coming with some challenges in their marriage and in their life. And then tragedy strikes and Elizabeth's world is completely turned upside down, and it makes her question everything she knew about her life and her marriage. Like I said, this doesn't necessarily completely scream something that I love from Kristen Hanna because it is more along the lines of the contemporary fiction, but it's still something that I want to give a try, and I already own it, and it's actually very short for a Kristen Hanna book. So this is going on my summer TBR. I really wanted to get a thriller on this TBR, so I decided to pick up The Counselors by Jessica Goodman. This is a book that I ended up getting in a little free library last year, and it's a summer camp thriller. I also believe this is a YA thriller. I've only ever read, I think, one other YA thriller, and that was 5 Survive, and I really had a good time with it, so I have high hopes for this. However, the last camp thriller I read was Riley Sager's The Last Time I Lied, and that was not my favorite. So I'm going into this with high hopes, but tempered thoughts. This follows Goldie. Goldie has gone back to camp as a counselor this year with her 2 best friends, Imogen and Ava. However, something goes wrong and one of the campers ends up murdered in the lake one night. And Goldie knows that Ava actually was at the lake the night of the murder and is hiding something. What is going on at this camp? I don't know, but I am intrigued to find out. So this book may not scream summer necessarily, but the cover to me kind of gives me summer vibes in a way because of the clear blue sky and the airplane, because I think of travel, and that is Truth, Lies, and Second Dates by Mary Janice Davison. I don't know why this cover gives me summer vibes, but it does. I guess I just think of it as like going on vacation in the summer on an airplane. Anyway, it's going on this list. This is a romance with a little bit of a mystery in there as well. This follows Captain Ava Camp, who has been a pilot for many, many years and has decided to return home to Minnesota. When she arrives, she meets up with Dr. Tom, who is the local coroner. Ava has been running her whole life away from a cold case that happened when she lived in Minnesota before, and Tom, being the coroner, knows a lot about this cold case. When they meet up again, sparks do fly, and there's definitely some attraction here, but they also decide to look into this cold case and see if they can come to some sort of resolution over that while trying to handle this chemistry that is between these 2 main characters. The next book going on this list is actually a sequel to a book that I read in the winter time. That might be odd because you would think, how could it be a winter book and a summer book? Well, the first one is called Winter in Paradise, so it was technically a Christmas book, but it was set on a beautiful tropical island. And the second book in the series is What Happened in Paradise by Ellen Hildebrand. This is the second book in the Paradise series, and it follows Irene Steele. In the first book, we see Irene home while her husband is on a work trip. She gets a very tragic phone call that her husband was in a helicopter crash and has passed away. She takes her 2 grown sons and goes to the island to collect his body and to find out why he was in a tropical island in a helicopter, because that doesn't make any sense. When she arrives, she finds out her husband, Russ, was living a completely double life, owning a huge villa in this tropical island and had a woman and somewhat of a family in this area. And how could Russ afford this? We were just starting to kind of figure that out at the end of the last book. There's clearly some nefarious things going on, and Russ was clearly a part of something that he should not have been a part of. I believe the family has gone home, but is now coming back to the island to kind of find out more information in this book. And I'm excited to see how the story keeps going and what exactly Russ was a part of, and also how this family still comes together, because there is kind of 2 families that need to kind of come together and get to know each other. So it's an interesting series. I gave the first book 4 stars, and I would like to finish the trilogy. So getting book 2 done this summer is a good step towards that. So the last book going on this TBR is The Weekenders by Mary Kay Andrews. This is an author that I ended up actually trying last year with the book Hello Summer. It was a book that I ended up having to read during the 48 hours of Bookopoly when we did the feed scroll. It was not anything that I planned to read at the time, but I feed scrolled, it ended up there, and I actually had a great time with the book and ended up giving it 5 stars. I was expecting it to be more of a women's lit, but it was actually kind of a romance with a murder mystery as well. And I really did end up liking that vibe. This book is the same thing. It follows a group of people who live on the island on the weekends. This is a beautiful island, and people kind of vacation there on the weekends, kind of similar to the Hamptons, but it's not the Hamptons. Riley is at her weekend home, expecting her husband to arrive at any moment, when she is thrust papers, which I'm assuming are divorce papers, but it doesn't actually say in the synopsis. And her husband is nowhere to be found, and the mystery starts to deepen. We don't know where her husband is, and it does have a mention of some sort of murder on the synopsis as well. So what exactly is going on this island? I have no idea. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna love this, but I did love a book by this author before, so I decided to give it another try and see if I like another. Who knows? Like I said, I loved Hello Summer. It was a random pick from a feed scroll, but I had a great time with it. So let's try The Weekenders and put this on my summer TBR, because this definitely screams summer vibes. Anyway, those are the 5 books that I am planning to read this summer. Is there anything that you really want to get to this summer that give you all those warm, hot day, vacation, island feels? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.